You're not James Bond. You're not going to be a secret agent. You want to be known by everybody and anybody and their mother. I mean, you have to in this business, and it help you to find yourself. And that's all that you need to do. And be authentic to yourself and be yourself. Again, it falls into you need to know your strengths. You need to know your weakness. Who is your audience? What are their agents? What they want? It's one step at a time. I can be the best social media guru, expert, and have the best videos in the world. But if I don't connect with people, if people doesn't feel identified with me, they're not going to work with me.
Ready? Ready to rock and roll? Is that action? All right. Okay.
That's right.
All right.
Absolutely. Go. Go.
Hello, everybody. It's Jason Will with
Go.
So this is a real estate podcast, but we talk about leadership, personal growth, and becoming the best version of yourself. Leadership, check 1, 2, check 1, 2. Growth, best version of yourself.
Go.
So this is a real estate podcast. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of the Impact Agent Podcast of 2022. I got a special guest in studio today, Mr. Tony Alvarez. Tony, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Jason. Thank you very much.
Well, I came across Tony on TikTok, and it's like your TikTok's like the Latin Grammy Awards on steroids, Tony. And it's so entertaining and so positive and just, I don't know, enthusiastic. It's infectious, right?
Yes.
So I reached out to you and I wanted to know, because your follower count is up there, right?
Yes, I got 6,500 followers.
6,500 followers. So I wanted to know, does this 6,500 followers, is it equating to real estate business? And you said you were closing some deals from social media.
I have. When it comes to TikTok, I've done everything mostly for entertainment. When I started doing TikTok, that was back in September 2019.
Oh, wow.
Even before TikTok was TikTok,
yeah.
I was doing videos like that on my Facebook stories. So
yeah.
When TikTok came, I was like, this is
perfect.
Yeah, it's God sent. This is perfect for me. Take that, entertain it out of me. I have met a couple people on TikTok, actually 3 people, one in Oregon and 2 in Texas, that it was real estate related. Most of my content is more, for entertainment and everything. But when I had some people reach me out, when they find out that I was doing real estate, they reached me out about it. So I thought about it and like, wait a minute, I can use this platform also for my business. So I still haven't done a lot of content, real estate. And if you notice, it's mostly in Spanish. So I'm starting doing a little bit of English on that too.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. So you're from El Salvador, is that correct?
Born and raised.
Born and raised in El Salvador. And when did you become an American?
I came to the States to live here definitely in 1993. I moved to California.
Okay. And what brought you here? Just seeking opportunity?
No, actually.
A woman? Were you following a woman?
No, it was the other way around. I had the opportunity when I was a kid to come and visit because my grandparents live in California. But I got to an age that, I had a girlfriend. I wanted to go out with her and everything. And I need to get me a job because I need the money. So
I knew a woman was related in the story somehow.
But my background is because in my family, my mom was a teacher. My dad was a professor. So education for them was more important than getting a job. So I'm not coming from a poor family. I'm not coming from a rich family either.
Yeah.
We're kind of like a middle class. But everything was focused on education. And my dad said, no, you're not getting a job. You're going to get your degree. I was studying 2 careers at the same time, engineering and business administration. And I say, no, I need money. I want money. Grab my passport, left a note on the table and say, I'm moving to California. When I get there, I'll let you know. Took the bus and here I am. 30 years later.
So how much English did you speak at the time?
Very little.
So this is amazing, right? I mean, if you unpack all the fears, the unknowns, just the anxiety around such a major move, you talk about jumping in with both feet and taking a leap of faith. Like, were you scared at all?
I didn't think about it. That's why. I just got upset. And I said, the only way that I can make money is I leave the house. And if I live here in the country, my dad is going to get me. Our culture is very different than the American culture. My first choice was go to Los Angeles, and my second choice was go to Europe. So Los Angeles is closer than Europe and cheaper.
Yeah. So what was your first job when you got to the States?
When I got into the States, I went looking for some friends, and they moved out. They didn't live there. So I spent a couple of days living not on the street, but in the skid row, with the homeless people, while I tried to figure it out what's going to happen. And then it just happened that I met this guy from Syria, and he was buying things in downtown LA, and I was helping him with the bags and things like that. I was doing whatever I could. And probably he liked me, I don't know why. And he said, come with me. I'm going to give you a place to stay, and you're going to have a job. You're going to be working in my restaurant from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., and then you're going to be working in the liquor store from 6 p.m. 2 o'clock in the morning, 7 days a week for $300 a week.
Okie dokie. Well, opportunity, right? Got you a roof over your head, but wow, that's a grind.
Yeah. And, I was happy. I wasn't paying rent or anything. So those $300 actually stretch a lot.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And then he, teaching me a little bit of English, and why not? And he told me that if I want to grow, my circle back then was very small, very, very small. And everything was Spanish.
Yeah.
And he told me, you need to grow your circle, but out of the Spanish. If you want to learn a new skill, you want to learn a new language, you want to learn something new, you need to get out of the circle where you at now, and you improve. And you're going to have a lot of friends, a lot of people, friends, quote unquote, that will not like that.
Yeah. Sure
enough. So I start buying the LA Times to read it. I didn't understand a damn thing, but, at least I get acquainted with the language a little bit, watch TV only in English.
Yeah.
To get my ear, getting to know. And that's how I started learning the language and talking to everybody. I mean, I had a worse accent than what I have now, if you can believe that.
Yeah. No, I can definitely believe it. I mean, and I just can't imagine anything scarier than that. My wife and I moved our family to Panama. We were trying to expose them to the Latin American culture for a year or so. We didn't have our business quite, our ducks in a row, where our business was self-sustainable without us. Mm-hmm. So the move didn't last even a full 6 months. But we sent our kids to school, and there was like one teacher at the school that spoke English. None of the kids spoke English, and man, they picked it up.
Yeah.
Our daughter was coming home singing in Spanish, and we were like, wow. But I just couldn't imagine being their age and being at a school and trying to communicate with other kids and not being able to.
It's hard. It's hard because that happened to my son 2 years ago when he first moved here to the States. He was 6 years old, took him to school. He was going to school, and he was getting a little bit frustrated because of the language barrier.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, did anything else interesting happen in Los Angeles? I'm very curious. I don't want to move off from that chapter in your life because it feels like this Syrian man was a great mentor to you.
He was.
Yeah.
He was. After 3 years, one of the customers that go to the liquor store, he was from El Salvador also. And he came to me and told me, Tony, we need a rent collector. He was an accountant for a property management. And one of the owners happened to be from El Salvador also, and from the same neighborhood that I am in El Salvador.
Oh, wow.
So that was like surprise to me.
Small world.
A small world. Different. Yeah. And he told me, you need to go and knock on doors, South Central Los Angeles, after 6 p.m., cash.
Right.
To collect the rent. And I talked to Sammy, and Sammy said, Tony, it's time for you to fly. You cannot be on the comfort zone all your life. Go. If it doesn't work out, you always have the doors open over here.
Yeah, so in a sense, in that 3 years' time, you created that circle at his restaurant and the liquor store, and it was time for you to leave that circle and go into the next thing, right?
Exactly. Take the next step. You know.
So how'd that go? Do you have any gunshot wounds or?
No. They always say work smart, and I learned a couple tricks on the streets and everything, so people know me. And they get to see me. At the beginning, it was kind of weird that they're like, who's this guy? And I'm going to places that I shouldn't be going, but nothing ever happened to me because I always say, hey, what's up, guy? I smile, I shake hands. I ask the most stupid question you can ask just to see how the other people react.
Yeah.
So that way I can measure, am I safe or not?
Right. And you do, I mean, I'm sure you know this by now. I mean, we even alluded to it, that's why you're here. I mean, you've got this infectious positive energy about you where just from your social media, it's like, I want to know this guy. Like I want to get to know this guy. He seems cool. So I can see that. I mean, you're not somebody that looks threatening at all. No. It just looks like somebody you want to get to know. And of course, I mean, smiling is a big part of diffusing anything that might be a dangerous situation, right?
Well, yeah, it is. And even though I've been told for some people that I got the face of a narco, I look like a Mexican cartel capo. But, I'll take that as a compliment because I can use that in certain situations. Not a problem,
Right.
So I did that with the property management. I was a rent collector probably for 6 months. I still didn't speak English that well and anything. I had some problems, but they moved me to maintenance supervisor. So I learned construction. I learned to do maintenance. And I stayed like that for probably 4 years. And then after that, my English got better. So they moved me to property manager. And I was managing 975 doors.
Wow.
Low-income properties, Section A, Section 36.
975
units. Yeah, 975 doors. We have a team. I mean, it's not like I did everything. You have your team. But I oversee a lot of that, maintenance, requests, and things like that. And it was funny during that time. I remember we had a guy that I had to fire because his job was to put trash, what do you call it? The one that you have on your sink and you put all the trash.
Oh, the garbage disposal?
Garbage disposal.
Yeah.
Right? That is 45 minutes maximum to take to do it. And we used to pay them $300 per garbage disposal to do it. But this guy, for whatever reason, he took more than an hour to do that job. So everybody was doing 10, he was doing 4 or 5. And I just, find out he was doing some other stuff.
Yeah.
So I had to fire him, and he threatened me. And I remember pretty well. And I just told him, and I said, you know what? The places that I hang out, the places that I'll go, you only be there for 2 reasons. In your dreams or you working there.
Yeah.
And that made him more mad. And I didn't get scared per se because it really didn't scare me, but also teach me a lesson to myself that I need to be careful with what I say and how to treat others. Because yes, I wasn't treating him that well. I looked down on him a couple times, and that's a bad thing to do. Definitely. Yeah. So that was a good learning lesson for me.
I would imagine the whole thing was an incredible learning opportunity, and a lot of the knowledge you gain really sets you up for what you're doing now. Do you do any rentals or any rental management or anything like that now?
No. Well, I do it for some of my properties. I got a couple of properties of my own. And one of my friends, he owns 3 houses too, and I'm helping him on that. I manage that. That's something that I really don't want to get into it because it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, it does.
I want to concentrate more on the sales, and that's why I got my license. I bought a home in 1999. And I went to a first-time buyer seminar and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
And why not? And the agent that we have, I remember very well, was with a Coldwell banker. Nice guy, Andrew, that was his name. But I only saw him 3 times. 1 at the seminar, 2 when we found the house and he showed it to us, and 3 when we closed.
That was it.
That was it. And I didn't like it.
Yeah. You're like, this is fascinating too, because I love having conversations with real estate agents who were inspired to get into real estate because their agent, for some reason, just missed the mark, right? Dropped the ball, wasn't a good communicator, was very transactional and not really relational, those type of things. So how did you get to Birmingham, Alabama from Los Angeles, California?
I got divorced.
Oh,
I was married in
a lot.
California.
Yeah.
My ex-wife, she was a cop. Long hours and long story. And it got a point that her goals and my goals didn't match. Mm-hmm. And we were going different directions, so we decided to split. And I got into a little bit of depression. So I took some of my money. I sold my $45,000 Harley Davidson. I sold it for $17,000. Because I didn't want the money go to her.
Yeah.
And I got some money, and I flew, and I went to Thailand, and I lived in Thailand for a couple of months.
Oh, wow.
Great experience. And then from there, I went back to El Salvador, and I live in El Salvador for another 2 years. I was working for an import and export company. I was going to China 4 or 5 times a year because I was a buyer. Everything that you see on the Dollar Tree, Dollar General, and things like that, I was in charge to buy that, but for El Salvador and Central America stores. So I love it. I got to travel.
Yeah.
And then I met my second ex-wife now. Something's wrong with me, I know. I know. And then I decided I need to go back to the States. I mean, I love my country, make no mistake about it, but I think I became more Americanized.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like the lifestyle here
Yeah.
than over there. Over there, it's nice to go vacation. It's nice to go and have a good time, go and help people. I noticed that your wife went on a mission over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and those are great things. But to live and make money is hard. It's really, really hard.
Yeah.
So I moved back over here, and the only places that I should go was Houston because I got some cousins over there. But I don't like Houston. Nothing against the city. I just don't like it.
Yeah. It's really big.
And then my ex-wife got some family members here in Birmingham, and she told me, why don't you go to Birmingham? I'm like, because my friends in California were telling me, why are you going to the South?
Yeah.
And you know, you get all the bad report about the South.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still waiting for everything that they told me to happen, but I haven't seen it yet.
Right.
And I'm loving it. I've been here for, 11 years now?
That's awesome.
The culture here in Alabama is pretty close to our culture. You know, we say hi to everybody. Mm-hmm. We smile. We're very friendly. You know your neighbors most of the time. In California, you don't.
Right.
You say hello to somebody or I smile to somebody, I'm pretty sure in 2 days I'm going to get a lawsuit because I've been harassing somebody.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where I moved here. And it was hard because when I was in California or even in El Salvador, I mean, if I get hungry at midnight, I'll find places open to go eat. I'm here in Birmingham, Alabama. It's 10 o'clock at night and everything is closed.
Yeah.
So that was a hard transition for me. Like, what happened here?
Right. Right.
And I don't drink. I mean, I can have a beer here and there, glass of whiskey here and there, but I'm really not somebody that's going to go to a bar and have drinks and things like that. Not my thing. So my social life really, really is more social media than going outside.
Interesting. You know, I'm a bit of a homebody myself, but I do have a big social media presence, I would say larger than the average person. And, you know, I teach a lot of classes now, and I've spoken at a few conferences, but, you know, I had to take a public speaking. You had to take this public speaking course to graduate from the program I was at college, and I just figured out a way to get out of it. I was so deathly afraid to speak in front of people. And then I want to ask you about that too, just while we're on the subject, because it seems like I do see you on social media at networking events. So is that something you do a lot of, or?
I'm doing it now.
Yeah. Are you kind of forcing yourself outside
Yes.
your comfort zone to get yourself out of the house, start networking?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, you have to in this business.
Yeah.
You're not James Bond. You're not gonna be a secret agent. You want to be known by everybody and anybody and their mother.
Oh, such a good point. But I think this too, right? So maybe this is a fair statement. I'm going to speak for you for a second. Mm-hmm. So we go to an after-hours chamber networking event. I'm going to feel like a very small fish in a big pond. I'm not going to be the social butterfly in the room. I'm better with people more on one-on-one. So I'm going to be looking for somebody that I know, and if I don't know anybody, I'm probably going to be sitting there twiddling my thumbs. But social media allows you to build rapport with people you don't even know really already. So so just in the way that I was motivated to reach out to you, I'm sure that's what's happening. People are like, I want to work with this guy because he's fun. You know, people just want to work with positive people. So I think, you know, there's a great deal of introverts that aren't successful in real estate that could be if they could just use social media as a medium. It's kind of an icebreaker, right?
It is.
Is that fair?
It is, definitely. And also, you know, it has to do with your personality as well. I'm always been like this. And since I was a kid, I've been criticized because my personality. I'm very open, try to be as much as honest I can be. Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it's bad.
Yeah.
I'm 50 years old now, so I'm learning to have a filter in my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't let the brain talk.
Yeah. I probably need a little bit. Yeah. Well, I'm 40. I'm going to be 46 this summer. So hopefully that gives me hope because my wife says I don't have a filter. and she says I need one badly.
Yeah. Well, that's a constant work that you have to do. It's like, Zig Ziglar say that motivation doesn't last. Neither is, taking a shower. That's why we recommend it on a daily basis. So you need to motivate yourself on a daily basis. You need to, first of all, get to know yourself. What you like, what you don't like. Learn what's the perception of people of you. What is it that people like about you? And if they're being honest, they also will tell you what they don't like about you.
Mm-hmm.
First step you can take is asking your spouse. Your spouse is going to let you know.
Right.
People that you have worked before, and then all of a sudden they don't talk to you no more or you haven't seen them. So you want to know why. If it's something, we were friends for this long, what happened? It was me? Did I change or did you change? And it was a good change or not? What was it?
I think this is a really valid point, especially when it comes to real estate agents in terms of self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of agents I think that just lack self-awareness. They're not taking inventory on what they're good at and what they're bad at. So this is an excellent point. I mean, you're dropping a lot of wisdom here. I mean, I love the fact that you said don't be a secret agent. I feel like and I tell this to people that call me and say, hey, I'm thinking of getting my real estate license. What do you think? And I say, listen, the first thing I think you have to make peace with is that the real estate industry has become a public figure industry. You have to be, well, you don't have to, but if you want to make the most money you can make, you need to wrap your mind around becoming a local celebrity, right? I mean, I can't tell you how many real estate agents, because I'm trying to connect with real estate agents in Birmingham because I'm not from here, right? So I'm trying to grow a brokerage in a city where I don't really know a lot of people. So I'm sending out friend requests. And I can't tell you how many people that when I friend them on Facebook, in that little intro box, it doesn't say what they do for a living. I go to their Instagram accounts, private account, and I'm like, I think you're kind of missing the point here, right? Especially with what you do for a living. But it sounds to me like you also are into not self-help, but motivational books like Zig Ziglar. And
I read a lot of motivational things.
Yeah.
Because I believe it's something that you have to do on a daily basis. I got my own concept of what motivation is. I'm not talking about being positive because being positive, it depends on what you think positive is. And to me, it's just an overused word. Be positive, be all you can be. You can do this, you can do that. I'm like, yeah, but not really. Let's take social media, for example. There are some people that is great on social media, posting pictures of their kids, posting pictures of what they do, and a great content they write on that. Without being a real estate agent, it's just regular people. There's certain people don't feel comfortable doing that. So we got real estate agents, we got people in the industry that they really don't feel comfortable doing social media. And I understand that because not everybody got the personality for that or got the desire to do that. That's why you need to get to know yourself. You need to get to know your strengths and your weakness. In my case, I separate my social media. I got my personal page, which almost everybody knows.
Yeah.
And I got my business page. Same's on Instagram. I got my business page and I got my personal page. My business page, everything is not private. You can go and see everything, all the craziness I do in the business. And it's not necessarily just sold, just listed.
Yeah.
No, that's so boring.
I don't like it.
I mean, it's okay. You can do it, but that doesn't make you be outside the box. That puts you inside the box with everybody else.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be like everybody else. I'm not like everybody else. And when I got a couple agents ask me, how do you do those videos? How do you do this? And I explain how I do it. I got the app and blah, blah, blah. And like, oh, that's a lot of work. Yeah, don't do it then. Just grab your phone, put on the video. Hey, I'm here in this house. This is a nice house, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. Come and see me. Call me. Okay, that's it. That's all you have to do.
Or tell a story.
Or tell the story.
Yeah, people this is I think your story, I had another agent tell me one time he was trying to write his bio for his website. And he was like, I don't know what to write in here. And I said, well, why'd you get into real estate? He said, well, my wife and I were shopping for a house and every real estate we called, they wouldn't call us back.
Mm-hmm.
and he owned a gym at the time. And he's like, he was looking for his next career, and he's like, it's real estate. I know I can do it better than these freaking deadbeats,
Yeah.
you know? So I said, that's your bio. Tell the story about how you got into real estate. And that's going to connect with people. It's going to be authentic and relatable.
But you have to remember also, Jason, that in this business, people like people alike.
Yes.
I can be the best social media guru, expert, and have the best videos in the world. But if I don't connect with people, if people doesn't feel identified with me, they're not going to work with me regardless.
I think that's a point that a lot of people miss about social media, is that it's all right. So I'm an introvert. I don't like going out. I don't like going to networking events. Large crowds stress me out. But social media allows me the opportunity to connect with people on a one-on-one level, right? But it's not going to be content that everybody's going to love.
Exactly.
But the people that do love it, we're going to have a great working relationship and probably build a lifelong friendship. Like, you don't want to work with somebody who is totally opposite from you.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably not going to go well.
But that's the problem, that many agents feel the pressure from their coaches, from their mentors, from their leaders.
Yeah, let's bust the crap out of that myth.
You know what I mean? It's like, you got to do this to be successful, blah, 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 because this coach, national recognized coach, say you have to do it, and it's working for this agent and it's working for that agent. And yeah, it's working for them. That doesn't mean that it's going to work for me. It doesn't mean that what they're doing is wrong. It just, you need to adjust your personality. You need to adjust yourself to use the tools you have. And whether we like it or not, social media is a tool. And it's growing. Because who buys the newspaper?
Right.
Who goes outside and look for the real estate magazine that we used to get back in the 90s with all those houses?
Yeah, nobody cares about that crap.
And the consumer, they go to the internet, they go to Zillow, they go to Trulia, they go to all those websites, and they can look at the house themselves. So what you going to do?
I heard a real estate trainer put it this way once. I was at a conference. I can't tell you where I was, but it was like spot on. He said, people don't follow houses on social media. They follow people. And they're going to connect with you outside of what you sell. They're going to connect with you on a personal level. And if I have a coach that says, hey, you need to be more like this guy or this lady, in order to be like that person, that's not authentic.
No, it's not you.
No.
And it's not, you can notice that. You can see that when you're not being you.
Well, let me ask you, when you did this self-awareness exercise and you were going around asking people like your ex-wife and maybe your friends, like, hey, what are the pros and cons of Tony? Was some of the advice you got like, hey, Tony, you need to get out of the house more. Like, you need to get out more. You need to network a little bit more. You're great on social media, but people need to see you in person. You need to get eyeball to eyeball people.
Actually, my dad said that to me. It's okay if you want to stay home and everything, but I don't understand what you do for a living. But for what you told me, he said, you need to be face-to-face with people and you're good doing that.
Yeah.
And, my dad knows me well, even though we never seen eye to eye in a lot of things.
Right.
But anytime to go to El Salvador, we have these conversations. And, it's a great relationship. But my dad is one of the people that has inspired me.
Nice.
He gave me my first, I don't want to say self-help or anything, but one of the books that I love, and I read it like twice a year, is The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Sharma. It's amazing. It's one of the books that I recommend everybody that wants to do career change or something like that to read it, and it help you to find yourself. And that's all that you need to do.
I love that.
And be authentic to yourself and be yourself.
I'm going to add that to my Audible. Hopefully that's on Audible. You said you had your own personal definition of motivation. I don't know, or your own idea of what motivation actually is.
Motivation, a lot of people tell you that you need to find your why.
Yes.
Your why will give you your motivation.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't need to find my why. I need to find my why not.
Oh.
Simple as that.
And what is your why not to you? What does that mean to you?
I want to be an example to my son. I want to show him that you can be successful no matter what. I consider myself a successful person. I don't have all the wealth and all the money in the world, but I am successful because I look back to when I started and where I am now. And heck, not everybody can, go through all that. So my why not is my son. I don't want him to tomorrow, when I die, he read in the newspaper and say, Tony Alvarez was an average guy.
Right.
Tony Alvarez, he screwed me. He didn't do me good. I want him to read, Tony Alvarez was a great guy. He helped me find my house. He helped me find my life. He helped me do this, do that. An amazing person. And I want my son to feel proud of that.
Yeah, so your driving force is more of a legacy thing.
It's a legacy thing, yes.
Yeah. Like you want to leave behind, like you want to leave this world better than you found it. And, you want people to be proud of you.
And I don't concentrate. This is the other thing, that's why you need to know yourself. I don't concentrate in material things. I don't want to, it will be nice, and maybe one day I will drive the nicest Mercedes, probably a Maserati, or maybe a little bit more like my son. He wants a Lamborghini. Who knows,
How old is he? How old is your son?
8.
He's 8.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And I don't want a 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms home because I don't need all that.
Right.
Right now, I live in a 2-bedroom, 1 bath because it's just me. And when my son come visit, he got his own room. That's all I need. How many hours during the day do I spend in my house? Really? Only when I sleep. Other than that, I'm on the streets working.
I heard this, again, forgive me, I don't know where I heard it or who I heard it from, but this very wise individual said the only thing you own in this life are the things that you give away. Like the only thing you truly own is what you give away. The things that you give away that have a positive impact on somebody or that make their lives better, may even make their day better.
Yeah.
You may just give away a smile, that puts a smile on another person's face, and that was their definition of wealth.
Yeah. That's my philosophy. Smile always. And to me, like I said, the material things are not important. They're nice to have. Why not? But it's more important to me being able to grab my son, get on an airplane, and let's go to Mexico. Let's go see the cenotes. Let's go to, he wants to go to Russia. Let's go to Russia. Why not? Let's go to Bali.
Love it. Yeah.
Because I'm building memories with him.
Yes.
That's what he's going to take. I'm like Chuck. Shaquille O'Neal, he said that when his kids told him, we're rich, he told them, I am rich. You're not. I'm the one who make the money.
Right.
And it's true.
Yeah.
So if I make money, of course, I'm going to leave some to my son, but the rest is going to go to charity or somebody else. He needs to learn to build his own wealth and not waste mine. Simple as that.
And hopefully have a definition of wealth that is not solely based on material things.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, who gives a crap about that? Like if you found out today, God forbid, that you had a terminal illness, you're not going to be going, oh, my car, I'm going to miss my car.
No, not at all. Please.
You're like, somebody's stealing.
I'm going to grab my car and I'm going to enjoy it, Wait a minute, this puppy go 200 miles an hour. Let's see if it's true. No, the most important thing, I believe, is the smile. Always smile. We always believe we're having a hard time, but go to Walmart, and how many times have you seen the cashiers smiling?
Right.
You don't know what they're going through.
No.
We take it against them because there's only one cashier and 200 people making the line. It's not their fault because they're not the ones who make the decision. Those decisions coming from somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So your job as a person is when you get in front of her, smile, even if she doesn't smile back and say, I hope you're having a great day. No, I'm not. Well, I hope it gets better, and don't let people get to you.
Yeah.
That's what I do. And then they look at this, because I always wear my name tag, and say, oh, you sell houses. Yes, here's my business card. You want to talk about it or you know anybody? Have them call me. I'll be more than happy to talk. Have a great day.
Well, what about this? So, you became a homeowner as the result of attending a first-time homebuyer seminar, right? So are you doing any of that? Are you doing any educational things for, because I'm sure, we have a robust Latin population here, right?
Yeah, I did one seminar last year, and we're planning to do another one. And now that you mentioned that, the Latino, the Hispanic community, Alabama, and this is real numbers, statistics, you can go to NAREP, the National Association of Real Estate Hispanic Professionals. In 2019, Alabama was number one in the whole country for Hispanic home ownership.
Oh, wow.
The Hispanics are the 4% of the whole Alabama population. Out of the 4%, 57%, more than half, are homeowners or property owners.
Wow, that's impressive.
So that shows you that the Hispanic community got purchase power.
Yeah.
Take advantage of it. And I do take advantage of that. Most of my content, I've just seen it, is in Spanish. I'm changing that this year. I'm doing both, bilingual.
I think that's smart. Yeah.
Because I need the American market to understand that the Hispanic market is here. Mm-hmm. So one of the plus that I use, one of my secrets, I'm going to have to give it away. I tell people, listen, it's pretty simple. You put your house for sale with me, you get 2 for 1.
Yeah. Yes, because you're working the Spanish-speaking market and the English-speaking market and people that are kind of halfway in between, right?
And you want to get more deep into that? I work the immigrant people. Right now, I have people from the Middle East. I got a couple people from China, that they identify with me because I'm also an immigrant.
And how are they identifying with you? How are they finding you?
Facebook.
Facebook. So what platforms are you on besides TikTok and Facebook? Are those your two primaries?
My primary actually is Instagram and Facebook.
Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah. I use TikTok to record some of my videos.
Yeah, because it's got the best editing and
exactly
a lot of that stuff. Do you take the TikTok watermark off or do you leave it on?
I leave it on some of them, but what I do is I record my TikTok videos and I don't publish. I just keep them on my archive.
Yeah.
And then with my phone, I record screenshot per se, and I record it. And then I do the crop so it looks like it's a video.
Oh, I'm totally stealing that idea.
Yeah. So that way the TikTok watermark is not there.
Yeah, the editing, like I get frustrated when I'm trying to create or edit a video on another platform because TikTok is so much easier.
It is.
So TikTok is primarily for entertainment. I did have a comment on that because I have a good friend she's now up over 1 million followers on TikTok.
Wow.
Her name is Amy Cotney. I think you ought to look her up. And I want to say I saw her doing, every now and then she does real estate related stuff on TikTok. The most of the time she's dancing, she's singing, she's got a husband that looks like Jack Black. And,
nice.
Yeah, and she's doing stuff with him, just totally goofy stuff. Yeah. And she's crushing it. She's crushing it on TikTok, and she uses like Facebook and Instagram more to promote her real estate business. Mm-hmm. She is just like, she's out there, and she just wants to entertain people.
Yeah.
And so she makes people laugh, makes them smile, or just entertains them, and then they click on her Instagram in the little bio section of TikTok, and then they go, oh, she's a realtor. Oh, I want to work with these people. She works in little Auburn, Alabama, and she's getting people from California, Colorado, all over the place that want to work with her. So there's this entertainment factor that people, I think they need to be connected. Like, not everybody's going to be an entertainer. Some person might be great at telling stories. Or they might be great at research, and they're all about this data. There's going to be a segment that's out there, or it could be that you love to cook, or you're a pet person, or some sort of hobby that people are going to connect to.
Again, it falls into you need to know your strengths.
Yes.
You need to know your weakness.
What's your primary skill?
I like to entertain.
Yeah.
I love it. I like to do goofy things using my TikToks. Mostly it's in Spanish, but you need to show, because why am I want to follow somebody that all the time is just sold, just listed?
I cannot tell you.
Sold in 3 days.
I cannot.
Sold in 4 hours. So, Jesus Christ.
I just can't with that.
I don't.
It's one of my pet peeves.
Yeah.
I cannot stand it. And I try to tell people, like, you sold it in 4 hours? Great. Tell the story behind what you did.
Exactly.
Tell the story behind it.
Like in my Instagram right now, I'm doing a reel because the reels right now
Are hitting.
working.
Yeah.
So I decided to do a reel of something that happened with one of my clients that got offer accepted. He did wanted to waive the inspection, and I went crazy. I'm saying, hell no, you're not. You're not waiving the inspection. I convinced him. He called me, Tony. Thank you for convincing me on doing the inspection, and thank you for having my back. Those are his words. Mm-hmm. We withdrawing the offer because we found this. So that's a story to tell.
Yes. And one that would go bananas.
Exactly.
On a reel. You know, I don't know if you've thought about this, but you've given me some ideas for sure. But I think you should consider, if you're not doing this already, leading some like social media marketing small groups among like minority business owners and showing them how to set up a Facebook business page or how to generate, like, is really, no matter what industry you're in, I feel like social media can help you double or triple your business.
Oh, totally.
And so I think, like, if you weren't doing a first-time homebuyer seminar, you could probably do some marketing seminars for small business owners.
I've been thinking doing something like that.
I think it would be huge.
And open a YouTube channel. I mean, I have
Yes.
my YouTube channel, but I haven't really used it as I should because YouTube is another, wow. Right now, statistics shows that it's TikTok and YouTube above Instagram and Facebook. So you need to also know your niche.
Yeah.
Who is your audience? What are their agents? What they want? I'm going to tell you real quick. My sellers, 90% are boomers. My buyers, 80% are Hispanic and millennials. Two different worlds.
Right.
So
Baby boomers and millennials.
my marketing for buyers has to be targeted to millennials. Mm-hmm. You know, and my marketing for sellers has to be targeted to boomers. Now, my generation, I'm Generation X. I haven't worked with any in my generation. I'm like, they don't like me. What's wrong with me? But at least I know where my niches are.
Yeah. That's key. And putting out content that's relevant to those two audiences.
Exactly.
In terms of a specialization, do you specialize? Do you put anything out there that, like, I'm a specialist in this, like first-time home buyers or income producing properties or any of that stuff?
That's a cliche for me. That's overrated, especially on what. Mm-hmm. You know, I got nothing against it, but I don't think an specialization works for me because what it does is narrow my audience, and I don't want to narrow my clientele. I want to expand.
Right.
You know, I work with. We went to see yesterday an income property, a duplex in Center Point that needs to work and everything. We need an investor, so I did a reel on that. Put him on my Instagram. Boom, there it is. For investors, but it's just investors. I'm not saying, oh, you're a first-time home buyer. Come buy this one, fix it your way, and you can rent the other one.
Yeah.
No, you're an investor, want to increase your portfolio? Here it is. Boom, boom. Show the video, blah, blah. Boom. 15 seconds.
Well, and I think this is a great point to mention. We're running out of time a little bit. We're actually over time, but I think this is a great example for people that, because I think there's a lot of agents out there, especially that struggle with, like, what is content? And what I try to tell them to do is, like, what are you doing today? So if you came to me and you're like, Jason, I'm going to show this duplex in Center Point, that's what I'm doing today. I'd be like, make content about that. You know, because it was an opportunity for you and that buyer. But if your buyer doesn't like it, there may be, I don't know, 50 other buyers out there that are looking for income producing properties right now. I know a lot of people, they're just too busy to locate them, too busy to find them. But if you brought it to them or if they saw it in their social media feed, they might go, heck, that looks like something I might want to jump on.
And use the right hashtags. Yes. Okay, don't put on the income property, don't put first-time home buyer. No, you put real estate investor. Because probably somebody in Minnesota, somebody in California is looking at the hashtag and say, wait a minute, that looked like a great property for my portfolio. Let me call this guy.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. All right, Tony, man, time flies when you're having fun.
I know, man. I know.
I really enjoyed it. I knew this was going to be a good podcast episode. There's so many, like, little bitty nuggets that people can get. I mean, heck, if you're listening to this, I mean, you should be inspired to take a leap of faith. I mean, you talk about moving to Los Angeles from El Salvador and then going, hey, I think I'm going to go live in Bali for 2 months. You know, then I'm going to move back to El Salvador. Then I'm going to move to Alabama. You didn't let fear or fear of the unknown holds you back. And then you're constantly trying to improve yourself. Like, what do you see in me that's good? What do you see that in me that needs improvement? I love it. There was so much stuff in there. Become well-read. Read a lot of motivational stuff. Find virtual mentors on YouTube. Find it on Audible. Just continually trying to better yourself. And then have a really positive attitude. And then while you're doing all this stuff, document it and showcase it on social media. And you could start with, You could start with Facebook if you wanted to. Like, let's say I'm scared to death of TikTok. Or, I think TikTok is just a bunch of dancing girls in thongs. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be on that. Like, you can just start with one, right? And get good at that, then maybe expand a little bit.
It's one step at a time.
Yeah. All right, let's promote your business. Whatever information you're comfortable giving out, if somebody's listening to this podcast, they want to buy real estate in the greater Birmingham area, do you want to give out a website, an email address, a phone number? How can they reach you? Do you have a common social media handle? You go with what you want to promote.
Well, if people want to see a little bit of what I do and all my craziness, they can reach me on Instagram, the Tony Alvarez RE.
Okay.
That's real estate related, and also is the Tony Alvarez RE on my business page on Facebook, and Tony Alvarez RE on TikTok.
Again, this is another simple tactic that I think this is something that they could implement right away. I think all your social media handles need to be the same or as close to the same as possible on every channel, right?
Yeah,
it just makes you easier to find. If you're Tony Alvarez, the Latin American heartthrob on TikTok, and then you're Tony Alvarez RE on Instagram, it's going to be hard to find you.
Even in my Twitter is Tony Alvarez RE.
Yeah.
So you got all the names the same.
Yeah.
It's easy that way. Or they can reach me on my email is tony@tonyalvarez.realtor. And my phone number, 205-370-3248. If people want to know before their other agents from another agency want to know what to do with their social media, if they think I can help, and just give me a call.
That was my next question. Can people reach out to you with social media questions?
Absolutely. Buy me coffee. I'm a coffee drinker. You buy me coffee, we meet in a coffee shop or whatever, and I'll show you everything that I do.
I love it. I love the abundance. I love you making time to come out here, and I just can't wait to share this podcast episode with everybody. Tony Alvarez, Impact Agent Podcast. Please share this podcast with a real estate agent that you know that could learn, could better their lives through the information that Tony shared today. Tony, thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
Thanks for listening to the Impact Agent Podcast. If you liked the show and got something out of it, please like the Impact Agent Podcast on Facebook and rate and review the show on iTunes or anywhere you listen to podcasts. This really helps us grow the show and helps other agents find it. Please share it with your friends and coworkers as well. You want us to deliver the show to you via email every week? Then email me at jason@impactagentuniversity.com, and we'll send you the show every week. Please let us know what you think about the show, what you like, what you don't, or possibly make a suggestion about a topic you want to hear. Email me at jason@impactagentuniversity.com or leave us a message on Facebook at Impact Agent Podcast. This podcast is produced by Johnny Gwin at Deep Fried Studios in Mobile, Alabama. Until next week, everybody be productive, safe, and happy, and always keep learning.